How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on Bass Fishing Declassified. Today in this video, I'm going to go over a technique that I gave a shot over the past couple months and into the fall. And y'all, this technique is throwing the Tokyo rig offshore. Y'all, today in this video, I'm going to share why I went to throwing the Tokyo rig offshore. Now, before we get into the information, let's take a moment for our sponsors. Y'all, today's video is brought to you by the Deep Dive app. The Deep Dive app is an app that's going to help you go out to your lake and point you in a direction to put more fish in the boat. This app is more than just a bait picking app. After you put in the information of your day, the app's going to take data from tournaments on a lake, on either your lake or lakes that are similar from across the country, and point you in a direction to go catch more fish. If you want to go fish shallow, it's going to give you strategies to fish shallow. If you want to go fish offshore, you can then use the strategies to go fish offshore. You can pick baits that you feel comfortable with, or you can go pick baits that you do not feel comfortable with, and you might want to try to go get better at those techniques. Y'all, go to the App Store today and download the Deep Dive app. Stay tuned with the Deep Dive app if you already have it downloaded, as there are going to be more updates coming out in the near future. Alright, so let me tell y'all why I decided to throw the Tokyo rig this summer into the fall. It started with me following the Bassmaster Elite Series tournament on Lake Pickwick. Brandon Palaniuk was using the Tokyo rig with a big swim bait to fish shell beds out near the main river channel. Now, he was using other tactics as well. And also during that tournament, if y'all do keep up with the Elite Series, Brandon Lester won with the Nico rig. So right there in the top 10, you had a guy throwing a Nico rig on these shell beds, and then you had Brandon Palaniuk throwing the Tokyo rig. Those were two tactics that are not usually what you throw at shell beds. Everybody throws your deep diving crankbaits, your jigs, Carolina rigs, but y'all, those fish were so pressured that they were having to try to find different ways to catch them. So that caught my eye, and of course, as y'all know, Brandon, he's Angler of the Year. Man, he's been on a roll the past couple years. You try to learn from these guys, and that right there was something that to me was like a bell, like, hey, I need to give this a shot as well. As if some of y'all know, I do love to fish shell beds and hard spots on some of my lakes offshore. Now, y'all, the Tokyo rig is not just brand new. It's been out for a couple years. When this came out originally a couple years ago, I remember Jonny calling me, and he was telling me about it before it kind of hit the news and the media, and he was like, hey, I'm going to send you some. I'm going to go ahead and fish this thing offshore. I want you to go flip it shallow and try to catch fish. And he caught some fish with it offshore. He caught fish in brush piles. There's a video on Fish the Moment that he was talking and using this technique. And down here at my lake, one of my lowland reservoirs, shallow water fishing, I was flipping it. And y'all, I just didn't have much success with it. I just caught more fish with the Texas rig than I did with the Tokyo rig. So that was 2 to 3 years ago, and now here we are today, and I saw Brandon throw that out there on Pickwick Lake, and I was like, hey, I got to give this a shot. So then y'all went to one of my local bait and tackle shops, and y'all, they only had two Tokyo rigs in the store. They both were these VMC Tokyo wide gap Tokyo rig setups, 3/0 and a 4/0 hook. Now, as you see, and I want to talk about the shorter shank that it has that most Tokyo rigs had, but if you have seen iCast lately, there has actually been some longer ones come out, and I actually have some ordered right now, so I can give those a shot. So there's only 2 of these in my local bait and tackle store, so I knew this is not a very popular tactic down here in my part of the state, or maybe in Arkansas in general. Like I said, I fish central Arkansas to southwest Arkansas, even into East Texas. So I didn't think that this was something that a lot of people do. Y'all, the first lure that I had success with on the Tokyo rig is I tried a bunch of lures, y'all. I tried the worms, swim baits. I tried, as I'm going to talk about in a minute, the cover scat. Y'all, the first one I tried was just a Zoom Magnum finesse worm. Y'all, it's just the shorter worm. It's not the big trick worm that I like to throw. And this was something that I used on my Highland Reservoir lakes on fishing rock piles, hard spots, points. And y'all, this guy caught me some fish. There we go, guys. He just threw my worm. First fish on the Tokyo rig. Not a bad fish there, guys. First fish on the Tokyo rig offshore. There he is right there. You see he threw my worm off. Now, two other lures that I went after that on the swim bait was just two little smaller swim baits. This right here is your Mega Bass Spark Shad, the 3-inch size, and then this is your Reaction Innovation Skinny Dipper, the 3.8 size. Y'all, I love the Spark Shad. I mean, if you've thrown the Spark Shad and seen it underwater, man, it gives great action. It's a really good swim bait, but this 3-inch was just a little too small for this 3/0 hook. Now, I did throw the 4-inch and 5-inch at times, but I just didn't get as many bites for some reason. Probably because some of the lakes I'm fishing, the bat there is not as big as shad populations maybe, but more into the fall when the bass have been so keyed up on shad and bait, but they're keyed up on the small bait, y'all, these smaller swim baits have came through. Like I said, I've caught a lot of fish with these. I've not caught any giants with the swim bait yet. I mean, I'm gonna tell you the truth, but I've caught a lot of 1 to 2 pound fish with this swim bait. Now, y'all, the other lure that I'm going to talk about that I've had a lot of success with in catching numbers and big bass is the Depths Cover Scat. Y'all, I know some of y'all probably have seen the Cover Scat on YouTube videos. You've heard about it. It's a Japan lure, of course. It's a soft plastic. Y'all, it's meant to be thrown Texas rig, weightless around docks, shallow cover. It skips well, it casts well. But y'all, when I started seeing all the footage of this lure, my mind right away was like, hey, I'm about to throw that offshore. I'm about to throw that on a Carolina rig. Then all of a sudden, you know, this Tokyo rig thing came about, and I was like, hey, I'm about to catch them on a Tokyo rig with it. And y'all, one of my, probably the second time I threw this out on the lake was one of my lakes that I fish a lot, y'all, Millwood Lake. A lot of people know me. I'm pretty good at Millwood. Millwood's one of my places. And y'all, I was fishing a shell bed off a point that, you know, is a popular area. You know, everybody might know there's a shell bed there, but it's a popular area, and there's been a lot of fish caught there. And I mean, I've even caught fish there on other lures. Then when I went there and threw this guy at them, which they hadn't seen, y'all, I caught some of the better fish off of this area that I've caught in a couple recent trips. Yes! Woo! On the Tokyo rig Cover Scat. That's exactly what we needed. Did you get this on video? Look at this Tokyo rig Cover Scat, y'all. Right there. Yes, sir. The Tokyo rig Cover Scat. I mean, I know those fish in Millwood have never seen this. And I know other lakes in my area that I've caught fish with this, they haven't seen it either. And so as you see this Cover Scat, you know, what's real nice with it is man, this tail, there's a short little action to it, as you see right there. And man, I'm telling you, that right there just triggers them fish to bite that are not as aggressive as hungry. So now, y'all, when you go get your Tokyo rig, as you see, most of the time they look like this. They come with a straight, you know, your straight wire, your hook, your swivel. And what you need to do is you're going to have to get some weights. Y'all, I used a 1/2 ounce tungsten weight for mine lately. I did the 1/2 ounce so I can get down there deeper. And then when I'm still shallower, I like to swim this thing, you know, real slow. I know I didn't talk about the retrieve, but I like to swim it across the bottom. So I'm not trying to let it sit there and get stuck. So what you do is you put this, you have your straight, you know, your straight wire there. You put the tungsten weight, make sure you put it backwards, you know, and you might, you know, if you Google, you know, Tokyo rigs and see other people throw it, some people even stack them. They'll get some lighter weights and stack them, or they'll get 2 1/2 ounces and stack them. They're fishing extremely deep. So you'll put it on there, then you're going to get your pliers, and you're just going to bend it right there so it does not come off. So talking about the retrieves with these baits, y'all, I tried to keep it moving slowly on the bottom. So I throw it out there, let it sink to the bottom, and then I'm just going to reel real slow. Now with the worm, I would drag it, you know, I would throw and drag it across the bottom and let it kind of bang up against the rocks or the shells. But when I was throwing them swim baits, I'm trying to throw it out there, let it hit the bottom, then reel it real slow, staying on the bottom the whole time, and just trying to keep these guys, as you see, just that far off the bottom, okay? Setup that I used was a Denali Covert Light worm and jig rod, 7/6 medium heavy. Y'all, this cast really far. All 3 lures that I used here that I'm talking about cast really far. And I did use some other lures, y'all, but like I said, I tried the craws and some other soft plastics, but these are just the 3 that I've had the most success with. But this thing does cast really, really far. And so I like the longer rod, so if they bite right away. There's a couple times, y'all, that mean as soon as it hits the water and hits the bottom, I start reeling, I get bit. So you need a longer rod to help you when you're setting the hook, to give you some leverage to get a good hook in them fish. Y'all, the line I was using was Sunline FC Sniper fluorocarbon, 14 or 16 pound. If I was in more of the stained water, 16 pound. If I was in more of the clear water, I went down to 14 pound test. Okay, one more last thing I'd like to share with y'all that I did give a shot as I was throwing this Tokyo rig, and I've actually done with a couple other baits through this past summer into the fall. Y'all, but I've been giving bait fuel a shot. Y'all, I'm not sponsored by bait fuel. I have no relation to anybody with bait fuel, but I've heard quite a bit about it. So I went ahead and got me a bottle. This is actually my second bottle. Now, I didn't put the bait fuel actually in the bait bag. You can do that probably. I'm not going to tell you that's wrong. The reason I didn't use these plastic bags is because I was actually seeing if it made a difference. So I would have my normal plastics, whatever it is, in its bag that comes with salt, caffeine, you know, whatever that company's product or, you know, sales pitch is of what they use. And then on these plastic bags, I put the bait fuel in it. And y'all, I'm not really going to say that it's helped every time. I mean, there's probably one or two trips I think, wow, it might have helped. I need more practice with this and more just checking it out just to see. Y'all, I'm a guy that will dye the tails. I will spray my baits with a scent at times. I'm a guy that will try different stuff out. Give this a shot. Let me know in the comments if y'all have had any luck with the bait fuel, if you think it's just a gimmick, or if you know for sure it's helped you catch more fish. Thank y'all for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe. Hey, leave us comments on what you thought of the video was, how you thought about the video today was, and some ideas for future videos. As you see, our Monday and Friday segment right now are videos where we have multiple anglers, and then our Wednesday videos, man, we're going to talk about a technique, we're going to talk about a recent fishing trip, or there could just be some different videos we will do on Wednesday for y'all. Hey, we appreciate it. Like I said, the best thing for y'all to do right now is subscribe, like the videos, share them out so we can bring y'all more content. We'll see you next time.